Welcome back to the Cutty and Govy show. We took last week off, Govy. Our executive producing team, we gave him a vacation week, unpaid vacation week, because we didn't pay him for last week, so it was unpaid vacation week. Govy, I have a question for you. I go in this parking lot every weekend to go to the gym, and you go and you take the ticket, and a woman says to you, please take your ticket now, and she has the sexiest voice. How can I meet this woman?
Is it a computer?
It's a computer. No, it's a computer. But when you pull up to the gate, it says, please take your ticket now in a really sexy English voice.
Right.
I want to meet that person who does that for a living. You don't think it's a real person?
Let me ask you, your navigation in your car.
Yeah.
Do you use the woman or the man?
I don't use navigation in my car. I use my phone.
You know you can choose.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can choose English accent.
Oh, cool.
So if you want your directions with an English accent.
Do you you don't use your phone navigation?
I use the nav in the car.
Wow.
I have my phone sometimes is my backup because I don't always trust the car.
All right, Govy. So Donald Trump was missing for an entire week. We saw him on TV yesterday.
It wasn't a week. It wasn't a week.
It was like he's in front of the TV every day. We saw him yesterday. He was bloated, big, fat. He's huge.
I don't think so.
You don't think he's bigger now than he was 6 months ago?
I don't know. You know,
I think he's on like steroids and for whatever he's got.
He played golf every day. What I find kind of crazy is Joe Biden would go on a trip overseas, and then he needed 2 weeks off. Nobody said anything. The guy had dementia. No one said anything. Donald Trump played golf every day during Labor Day weekend. Just because they didn't see him give a press conference or anything, they had these rumors that he was dead even. Do you know 5 days earlier he had a cabinet meeting? It was the longest cabinet meeting.
He was seated.
No, but it was longer than even his rallies. It was 3.5 hours.
I know. And
he took questions.
Can you imagine?
3.5 hours.
Can you imagine Pete Hegseth? He's Secretary of Defense. He has a million men underneath him in the defense. And Donald Trump says, come to a meeting. Come to my office. Come here. He's got to get in his motorcade and schlep over there. It's hysterical.
But you know what's great? I mean, it's a breath of fresh air. I really do. That when he takes questions, it's not like, don't forget, with Joe Biden, people kind of forget that he knew exactly who it was. He would say, oh, it's the girl from NBC, and he already knew the question, and he even got the answer wrong, even though he was prepared for it. Like, he had the answer because he had a cheat sheet. Here's Donald Trump literally just saying, okay, boom.
He does have a lot of knowledge.
And he has and by the way, knowledgeable where he's fielding all these questions and he just wings it. So if you're Pete Hegseth, they could ask him about Space Force. They could ask him about Afghanistan. They ask him about
Israel. You don't
Israel.
think he's briefed before he goes in there?
Oh, I think he goes off the cuff.
Oh.
He might not like you. If it's a nasty question, he tells you it's a nasty question.
Anyway, talking about your buddy or my buddy, Joe Biden, I mean, the big controversy now because they're closing in on all these people on the congressional hearings on this auto pen. They're essentially saying all these pardons and all these executive orders that were signed by auto pen, which is most of them.
At the end yet, the last couple of days.
The last 6 months, they said,
right,
could be all invalid.
I know. I think it is.
So the question is, if you get a pardon, when you come in front of Congress, you're not allowed to lie. You must tell the truth, and you can't take the fifth.
Right, if you get a pardon.
All right, so this is my question, the chicken and the egg. You're called in front of Congress, you're asked these questions, you have a pardon, and you tell them the truth when you normally would take the fifth. But then they disavow your pardon, but you've already spilled the beans. Do you get indicted for that?
Well, so
do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Let's say you come in front of Congress and they say blah, 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 and you're not allowed to say, I take the fifth, and you say, yeah, I did that, I did this, and I did that. Now they void the pardons because of auto pen. You get indicted because you lied. Now you told how to tell the truth.
Yeah, but it hasn't been a situation yet that's come up where someone has gotten the pardon, then they ask them. Once you get the pardon, then you don't take the fifth anymore, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it because you got the pardon. They can't then incriminate you and then say, by the way,
why? Because he's going to invalidate the pardons.
No, because here's going to be the tough thing with the pardons. He released 2,500 prisoners. I can't imagine if I was looking at like another 10 years in jail and they let me out and I'm now free and now I'm going to wait on this auto pen. What are they going to do? Call me up on the telephone and say, come back to jail?
Yeah.
I don't think that will.
I think they're going to do it. Tito's coming into the podcast, folks. Here comes Tito. Yeah. Tito got a rough diagnosis.
Yeah, my little
last week.
doggy got diagnosed with cancer, so he's hanging with me a little bit today.
Yeah, that's nice.
But whatchamacallit, I don't see you going back to jail. I don't see you going back to jail if you got a pardon. Yet, I can see you if you never went to jail and you got a pardon. I think you can go to jail. So the people that were in jail that got a pardon, I'm okay, as bad as it is that you're out, that you're pardon count. But I think that if you're like, say, Joe Biden's brother.
Let me try this again.
Joe
'Cause
Biden's brother.
I don't think you understand my question. Let's say you were part of the Obama, what they're claiming is Obama set up Trump on the Russian whatever, and you're one of these intelligence officers. You have a pardon now. They call you in front of Congress and they say, you have to tell the truth. You have this pardon. Did you set Donald Trump up with a fake story? Yes, I did. Now, 6 months later, they void out all those pardons because of the auto pen. You're screwed because you just admitted a crime.
Yeah, but once you do that, once they gave you the pardon and you then spoke, they can't use that against you.
Is that true? Okay.
Yeah, they can't.
That was my question.
Yeah, they can't use that against you. That's like, that's what you're giving up. You're basically incriminating. You wouldn't have said anything.
Anyway, folks, Govy and I had a vicious fight on the way over here. We're going to continue it on our podcast. And it's about Trump cleaning up Washington, D.C., which I believe was a great thing. You know, it's the bedrock of the nation. You have all the monuments, the Washington Monument, the White House, all the stuff in Washington, D.C. It's not a state. Now he wants to go clean up Chicago. I don't think he should be allowed in Chicago. I don't think he should be allowed in L.A. I don't think he should be allowed in New York. They're cities. They have mayors. They're states. I mean, it's not the same. We're Washington, D.C., so many federal properties, and it's a tourist destination. I don't think that, I think Trump had a right to do that. I don't think he has the right to go to Chicago. Let Chicago burn down. I mean, if these people are going to let it happen, let it happen.
Well,
why do you think he should go in Chicago? Why should he be allowed?
I think he should bring the awareness right now. So here's what he has. He has a track record that before he went into Washington, there was a tremendous resistance. Even the mayor of Washington, Bowser, she didn't want him coming in. There was resistance not to come in, not from the residents, but from the being a political thing. Well, now that he was in Washington, and now that it is successful, his 30 days is up. But the mayor is saying, "I want you to continue." So it's going to continue there. They have tourists taking.
Well, he's repaving the roads. Well, I mean, he's spending a fortune.
Wait, the tourists are taking pictures with the National Guard. They're not basically arresting you. They're there to add support. They're not going in. They're just there as a presence. And by the way, they have a record. 87% of carjackings are down. I mean, they just got.
I'm not saying it wasn't a good thing. What I'm saying is, are you going to go into Chicago? Are you going to go into LA? Are you going to go into New York City? I mean, you have mayors. You have constituents.
So here's what he did. Now that he did Washington, and it was successful, do you agree? All the residents like it. A lot of the black residents love it. They love it, the black residents. Now you got to turn around and say, Black Lives Matter. Well, in Chicago, there was what, 58 shootings, 7 people that died? I mean, that's all black. It's black on black crime. So, and a lot of them are 13-year-old kids, 12-year-old kids, 8-year-olds with guns. You have to say to yourself, if you really care about Black Lives Matter, then why aren't this white Governor Pritzker saying, I could use your help, and let them see how it is? If you're not inviting them, he can't really go in there. I agree. That's the law. But if you really care about the south side of Chicago, then let him come in. You're allowed to kick him out afterwards and say, whoa, you crossed the line here. I don't like it. But why wouldn't you want to save black lives?
Because Pritzker's going to run for president.
Then it's political is what you're saying.
100%.
So then you're saying it's okay, then black lives really don't matter because I'm running for president.
Yeah.
Okay? That is what by the way, and that's what Donald Trump wanted to do. So Donald Trump is basically saying, look at this big guy that's running. He only cares about himself.
Right.
He doesn't care about Black Lives Matter. So that's a great point for
But
Vance.
I'm agreeing with Pritzker. It's his city. It's
why
his
wouldn't he want him? Then why wouldn't he want him? Because he's running for president.
Yeah.
Well, then how can you agree with him?
Look, it'll make him look really bad. Donald Trump goes in there with the National Guard.
And cleans it up?
Yeah, cleans it up. No more murders, nothing.
All I said is that Donald Trump then achieved what he wanted to. He made Pritzker say, no, I don't want your help. I want the death. I want black lives.
No. That's so the Democratic
I'm going by residents.
All right. Now, the Democratic Party stands for different policies than the Republican Party. Some of the policies are woke, transgender, whatever. And if Donald Trump comes in with his Republican policies to clean up a city that is fundamentally broken because they're following these woke policies, then it makes the Democratic Party look bad. It's politics.
The National Guard, the perception of the National Guard, it's changed. In 1968, when the National Guard went to campuses like in Ohio or in Chicago, they were against it because they looked at them that they were Vietnam. They were one step away from Vietnam. They looked at the National Guard in disgust. Today, the National Guard, everybody looks at them as thank you for your service. Because you know what? When there's a hurricane and you need food or there's a fire in Pacific Palisades, they need the National Guard and they're thankful. If the National Guard is there just to help, they're not going in there and doing all these busts. They're there to help. If they could clean up the city and the residents, if the black residents say thank you, then that's Pritzker's fault, and then Trump did what he wanted.
But he makes Pritzker look bad, so
That's,
we can't.
then that's Pritzker's fault. Pritzker could turn around and say, you know what? I'm a big person. Thank you for your help. We were able to do this together under my leadership. I crossed the aisle. I shook hands with the Republican.
That's a good point.
And let me cross the aisle. But I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, by the way, all these lives matter now. And by the way, Democrats, they're for gun control, right?
Right.
Well, he just took out, 60 guns in Washington,
Right.
D.C.? Shouldn't they be happy that they took 60 guns off of the streets? Or they want to say, no, leave those guns in the street. Either you want them off or you don't.
But where do you draw the line? So then you go to L.A., then you go to New York City. Do you go to Nashville? I mean, where's the line? There's not enough National Guards for every city in the country.
Well, you can bring in the National
Philadelphia,
Guard.
I mean.
Yeah, we have a Pennsylvania National Guard. Clean it up in the beginning. You can't just accept it. And I look at it like some of these areas that some of the Democrats could say, well, why don't you do in some red states? Well, you know what? A lot of the red states have Democratic cities. You could basically say in Alabama, Birmingham, that's their highest thing. Ohio, Cincinnati. Each one is.
So are you happy that Trump blew that Tren de Agua boat up, with all the drugs?
I think it was great.
He's going after this guy's a mob boss.
Well,
he's going after the cartels now. And these guys are crazy when getting in these
Let
boats.
me ask you a question. Let's say
Ask me too.
Okay, let's say he didn't blow it up. Let's say he didn't blow it up.
Oh, yeah.
And they came to the United States.
Yeah.
The way these judges are treating Donald Trump, they wouldn't be allowed to be kicked back to Venezuela without a trial. I mean, we can't kick out a gang member without this guy Boasberg, this judge, who's constantly a thorn in his side. I mean, so he just decided, you know what? I don't need a trial. Just blow up the boat.
So what do you think? Now these drug dealers are sitting there and he's assassinating people. Trump is an assassin now. I mean, he's killing people without a jury and a trial.
He doesn't know because
these people were.
They're considered a terrorist organization.
They are considered a terrorist organization, but still, he's assassinating people without a trial.
Terrorists.
All right, so that's where the line is.
It's like, so here it is. Those people
This guy Trump, man.
Those guys were bringing in drugs to kill Americans. Let's face it. What they were bringing in was death to the country. He said, I'm going to eliminate them. I warned them. I told them. What they didn't see is they didn't think a missile coming from nowhere, and boom, that's the message. So Maduro thinks Trump is now, that's just the beginning of him taking over. I wouldn't be surprised if Maduro's on the phone with Xi, Putin, Kim.
Yeah, but Trump has operatives all over Venezuela, and they're going to try and overthrow this guy.
50 million. He has a $50 million.
Well, what's $50 million? I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing. I mean, come on. They could put $1 billion out.
I'll tell you what,
what's the difference? America's $37 trillion in debt.
This first ship is 30 minutes into a ride, and boom, it was gone.
So now you're an international drug trafficker, and you're making millions and millions of dollars, and you're running these speedboats. Are you doing it anymore, knowing that a missile can blow you up? I think he just set the record straight to everybody.
Well, they knew it was Tren de Agua. They knew who it was. If you're
a Tren de Agua guy and you're about to take a boat across the way there, you're not doing it anymore. Your head's in a sling.
Well, you don't need to wear your life preserver anymore because that's not going to save you. So no life preserver. Just go, and if you make it, you make it. But it is something that you think about.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now, another thing which was crazy this week was that Coldplay concert. I mean, how nuts was that? I mean, for those of you who didn't see it, Gavi, you could go and tell everybody. I mean, you tell stories better than I do. I mean, that is Coldplay is the same group that executive got busted with his,
Girl.
paramour or whatever.
Well,
she
he
was.
took a picture of the guy up there, and he knew he was having an
Right,
affair.
right.
So, he had to top that story. So now he brings up these two little girls in London in Wembley Stadium, and he said, "Where are you from?" And they said, "Israel." And then he went into this thing, well, we treat everybody here as humans. Like, they're basically saying, we're going to treat you like a human being, even though you're from Israel, but we give respect to Palestine. All the people go, like he treated them like they are the bad people because of and they're not. They're just two little girls from Israel.
Give me your take on it.
What's this human
The
stuff?
Academy Awards, all these TV shows, this kind of crap. Do you think these celebrities, because they have, $80 trillion worth of movie sales, that they have the right to expound on, their political beliefs? I mean, it's so ridiculous. People go to a Coldplay concert to see Coldplay. Do you want to hear his opinion on this? I mean, it's so ridiculous anymore. Like George Clooney's wife, and all her nonsense.
Well, when he says something and he doesn't think, he has to think that his first wife that he has kids with, I guess, Gwyneth Paltrow, she's Jewish.
Is she?
Yeah, puts her in a position that answered for him, the guy. What's this thing that you're human? He's trying to say you're human because you're from Israel?
Yeah.
Stupid.
He
didn't think.
It's like a knock on Bibi Netanyahu.
Look, Bono went out. He said his stuff. Bruce Springsteen said his stuff.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen. I used to like him too.
Neil Young said his stuff. You want to separate yourself? You want to bring politics into play? You'll get burned.
And Cat Stevens has never said anything, and he became a Muslim.
Right. Well, he became Then he came back maybe to Cat Stevens.
Yeah, because he needed cash flow, so he became.
Well, he got
non-Muslim.
saved in the ocean.
Is that what happened?
He was in the ocean. He was drowning. He was drowning. He said, "God, if you save me," and the next thing you know, he was.
He's no longer.
He was in Iran and on a bench.
Yusuf Malam or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He's now back to Cat Stevens.
He was one of my favorites, though.
He has that one-hit wonder song. I mean, his song is great. I remember we used to listen to it on vinyl.
But I just think that these politicians have to. It's like Michael Jordan said. Everybody buys sneakers. Like, why make it political? By the way, when Walter...
Well, look, going in 60 seconds, my book, Left Foot, Right Foot. Look at Yeez or whatever his name is, Kanye West. I mean, he destroyed his life because he got crazy political.
Younger people won't know who Walter Cronkite is, that brought the news. Maybe there was Peter Jennings that gave the news and stuff. I always used to look at anchors. Like, I never knew, okay... He's a Republican. He's a Democrat. Now with judges, when you see a judge that on the appellate court, did you ever think who appointed the judge? Did you ever say, "Oh, that's a Biden judge. That's a Clinton judge. That's a Bush judge"? All I knew it was a judge. I thought he was going to be completely fair. I didn't know, wow, they can shop these judges, and they're like, "Okay, I need someone to give me the verdict I'm looking for." There it is.
Well, that's kind of tricky in America when you have the president of the United States and some local municipal judge can, overturn a tariff or whatever the hell they're doing. It's kind of scary.
Do you think a local municipal judge of Boca Raton, Florida, should be able to stop the tariff, say, of what's going on?
Well, what he does is he starts a process. He stops it temporarily, then it gets appealed, and the attorneys are making a fortune, wasting.
How can you turn this back? The guy has an agenda. By the way, all this money that was brought into the country, for instance, like NVIDIA, all this investment, they're making this investment so they don't pay the tariffs.
Right.
What happens now if all of a sudden they try to reverse it? Sorry, we're going to suck up all the money, and then all of a sudden we have chaos in the country?
You don't think Trump has a plan B? He's got a plan B. He's got a way around it.
I'm sure there's a plan B, but he's winning. He's winning this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and by the way, if you want to know how important it was that he has the Supreme Court, it was tremendous, and that's the only thing
I don't know. John Roberts is a rat. I mean, he
didn't choose him. I got to tell you.
I know, but John Roberts is a Democrat, Gav. He's on my side.
Who was the head of the majority speaker, the senator, before it was
what was that?
Coon?
Was that Lightning?
That was Thunder. It was whatchamacallit, the guy from
I
Kentucky.
just want to make sure Trump isn't bombing this room right now.
It was the guy from Kentucky who was the long-standing Senate majority.
Oh, yeah, I forget, but go ahead.
Okay. He's the guy that stopped, Garland from being a Supreme Court.
Mitch McConnell?
Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell.
Greatest thing he ever did, no matter how bad he was in certain things, because he was able to get Gorsuch now into office. Look, could you imagine if Garland was with that Jackson? Garland, Jackson, Sotomayor. Oh my God!
But why is that John Roberts always against, the Republicans? He's a Republican, right?
Bush put him. He didn't do his. Bush didn't do his homework. Maybe Bush was too busy doing lines. Who knows? He was like he didn't give it the homework that Trump gave it. It shouldn't be. By the way, you got to do everything I say. Just like that girl Barrett Green. She went against Trump on certain things. So
Not
did
Clarence
Kavanaugh.
Thomas. He's right down the line, man.
Yeah,
he's a pro-Trumper.
Well, let's put it this way. If you were the Clarence Thomas and Joe Biden basically tried to hang you out to dry during his, when he was going for, you have a long memory. You look at Joe Biden with bitterness.
Yeah.
And that's where it came
Remember
from.
the hair on the Coke can?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember all that nonsense? Yeah, they really went after that guy. Well, Govy, we have football starting, and I have you are the expert on football, but I'm kind of watching this train wreck in Dallas, and I'm saying, at what point does the city get to control a team versus a wayward owner? You have a really shitty owner in Jerry Jones. I mean, he's a train wreck for 20. I mean, I remember when he fired Tom Landry, right? Day one, he fired Tom Landry. Then he had Jimmy Johnson, who won a Super Bowl. Then he fired him because he wanted all the strokes.
Then he had Barry Switzer.
Who
was his drunk with him.
University of Miami guy.
No, he was Oklahoma guy.
Oh, he was Oklahoma guy. Jimmy Johnson was University, Miami. Right. And, so he gets rid of his Super Bowl coaches. Now he's been a train wreck for, 25 years. His team's worth $10, $12 billion.
So
I think that the city should have the right to, just like they got rid of that basketball owner.
No, that was Sterling, and that's because he did racial stuff. He was speaking racially, and they had to get him.
What Jerry Jones is doing can be akin to something like that.
He's just that he doesn't have talent. Like, if you own the team, and he wants to play fantasy football, like he wants to get players and he trades, he just isn't that good. So he's playing general manager. Now, if you sign a player a year out, like the Philadelphia Eagles, Howie Roseman, he sees who's coming up. And he knows in the future, he thinks, okay, I could sign him today for $100 million, but next year, if he has a good year, he's $160 million. Jerry Jones waits until the 160. So Mikael Parsons, he was going to be $188 million. CeCe Lamb, they could have had for $50 million less. Dak Prescott, $50 million less. They basically said that Jerry Jones cost the team about $110 million in cap money.
I understand, but
you can't build a team without that.
Can't the NFL put like these covenants in the next future sales that say if the guy is, incompetent, the team is really owned by the city? I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I don't know anything about Jeff Lurie, but he does a great job, and Nick Sirianni
does a fantastic job.
Yeah, so I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but I don't know that I would be if Jerry Jones owned that team. I couldn't stomach it. But there's so few seats. There's 80,000 seats. He's going to sell them in a city of 5 million people.
So in Jerry Jones's thing, when he bought the team, and he paid $200 million for his team, $180 million for his team, and it's worth $10 billion right now. And every year he sells out, and every year he brings in more money than any other team in the NFL. He's successful. As far as he's concerned, he's putting a product out there that every year makes more and more money for him. He has his son, Stephen Jones.
Who's like King Charles. He's going to wait till he's 90 to be the owner of that team.
But you know what? Stephen Jones, because I went to a Super Bowl with him. He was at the
Is he
Dallas.
a smart guy or...
Well, he gets no say.
Yeah.
But he's not a kid. Like, Jeffrey Lurie has his son involved in the Philadelphia Eagles. He's 27 years old. Stephen Jones is like 65.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, he can't control his dad. So his dad keeps doing all these things. He has no say. And it's a problem. By the way, if you want to see Dallas winning a Super Bowl, you have to have a VCR machine. That's a tape. It's 30-some years.
But my entire point is, at what point does us, owners of the city,
Can't do anything.
So all we can do is not support the team. Our home team, not support them because, it's the gift that keeps giving for the Eagles, right? Because
we want them to stay there.
Yeah, Dallas is going to lose,
We're happy.
They're going to lose to Washington. They're going to lose to the Eagles.
They're going to be in last place. They're going to the Giants. They're going to be in last place. And as soon as the first game of the year comes, which is tomorrow night,
right.
If the Eagles, after they raise their championship banner, and Jerry Jones goes to every away game, so he's there, and he loves giving it back to the Philly fans. If the Eagles should beat them like 40-14, He's going to hear it on Dowit's Talk Radio, and he doesn't care.
So, are you going to be like suicidal if the Eagles lose to the
Nah,
Cowboys?
it's 17
tomorrow?
games. They bounced back. They were 2-2 last year.
Right.
But I just think that it's a fine line. It's this guy's team. He's building a company. What's he doing wrong as far as making money?
I like the Cowboys. I can't watch them anymore. I'm just done. But staying on football, you were right, Govy, Sensei Govy, Taylor Swift, and your buddy Travis Kelce engaged.
Yeah,
I'm still going to take the side they'll never get married.
they're getting married.
They're not getting
The
married.
question
It's
is-
a fake. It's
The
for
question
promo.
is now. The question is now is where are they going to live? Are they going to live in Philadelphia area where she's from, even though she doesn't live here now? Because she got to think about a family. She's going to have a kid probably within a year.
Well, they live in my neighborhood now.
Right.
They live down the street from
Well,
me.
he bought a house in Ohio, and that's where he's from.
Right.
And he does some of his podcasts there. She's in that Nashville and California. She has 7 homes, so she's all over the place. Now the question comes to where do you raise a family? I say
How old is she?
35.
Oh, she can have kids.
So she's going to where you raise your family. By the way, Jason Kelce has 4 kids, 4 daughters.
Does he?
Yeah, 4 little kids. So
Wow.
Travis is going to have a kid. I say Boca Raton. Where else is it better to raise a child than right down here? That's in the middle. That's not her city, not his city.
No, you're right. I mean, they're not
loves
going to
it
live
down
here in the summer. Nobody wants to live here in the
If
summer.
a hurricane comes, she has a jet. And by the way, her airport is 30 seconds from her house.
Right.
Literally 30
Right.
seconds from her house.
Right. No, I agree with you. They should live in Boca Raton or Palm Beach or something, right?
I think Boca Raton is
But
it's more of a neighborhood with kids.
I'm still taking the side, Govy. They're not getting married. This is a show. This is to sell tickets. This is for his podcast. I don't think they're really.
I
like
love how
this.
the reporters are making there's going to be a prenup. Do you think Travis Kelce cares about a prenup? He has plenty of money on his own. You think he cares about a prenup? No.
No, but he's going to have carpal tunnel syndrome from signing so many pieces of paper. I mean, they're just going to make him sign his life
By the
away.
way, do you know how much money he makes just because of her?
Oh yeah, $100 million. I think he got for that podcast, didn't he?
His jerseys are worth money. eBay.
Right.
You don't think when he retires that there's going to be a knock at the door from CBS or NBC?
Well, does he have a house in Kansas City?
Yeah, big house.
Oh, is that
Where
where
do you think he lives? In a hotel?
Well, I didn't know. Maybe he lives in a condo. I mean,
No,
who
he has a
knows?
huge house. Huge house.
Where's his primary residence?
Well,
Kansas
during the
City?
season is Kansas City,
Right.
and then Ohio in the off season.
Ohio. Interesting. Why Ohio? That's where they were born.
That's where they're from, outside
And
Cleveland.
then why did the other Kelsey go to Philly? Because he played there.
Because his wife's from Philly.
Oh.
Went to Lower Merion. Played.
Okay.
Did.
Look at these details Govy has.
well,
what are you
there's-
reading? In Touch magazine or?
Well, no. She's from Philly, so he's okay. He was a thing. They raised their kids. Her dad's there. It's different than Taylor Swift going to Cleveland.
All right, last football subject. We'll get off because the girls don't like the football. Is Bill Belichick with his 23-year-old girlfriend played
On the field.
On the field, yeah.
Could you imagine?
Well, she
if
could
he
be a
was?
cheerleader.
Could you imagine if he was coaching Tom Brady in the New England Patriots and she had to come on the field to talk
Well, I don't
to him
think Robert
during the
Kraft would
game?
let that happen.
What's that?
Robert Kraft wouldn't allow that.
Well, North Carolina's letting it happen. But I tell you one thing that Bill Belichick.
So, folks, he coached his first college game. Go ahead.
So there was a couple of calls. There was this one holding call that the referee did not call the holding. It was blatant. It was really blatant. And it cost North Carolina. So you see Belichick yelling at the referee. And then Belichick is realizing, even the referees of college and pro, they're just college. It's just a guy in the ACC. He's not going to be as good as the referees.
Oh, yes,
in
they are.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. I mean, college. Come on, Govy. There's so much money on the line with college.
And that's why they have leagues. Could you imagine?
I don't believe that a college referee is not as good as an NFL referee.
So you think that if Ohio State from the Big Ten is playing a school from the SEC and the referees are from the SEC,
Yeah,
they're
I
not
think
getting
it's
a little bit of a break, the
no,
SEC?
I don't think so. I think it's equally as good. I mean, it's so high intensity.
How about high
sport.
school? Do you think high school is as good as college?
No.
Then why do you think college is so good? What do you think they get
Because
paid?
there's too much money on the line. First of all, Ohio State, there's 110,000 people at that game.
What do they get paid? That's all I want to know.
Oh, they got to get a $500,000 a year.
A college.
Yes, I guarantee.
I'll
we'll,
bet you
We'll
anything.
do the research. I guarantee a college referee makes the same as a pro coach
All right.
referee.
What do you think? So you think college makes $500,000 a year?
Well, first of all, you're only working. I had an NFL referee working for me. His name was Bob McElwee. Built sewer
Right.
plants
I
for
know
me.
him.
So he did a Super Bowl actually. But he, the way it works with them is it's really just a part-time job, and they all have other jobs. This is 20 years ago. I don't
Not
know
anymore
if
though. It's now full time. But
full-time. They got to make $500,000.
I'll tell you what I say.
Go
I
ahead.
say the NFL they make $300,000 a year. College, I would say
Is your phone on?
125.
Sorry, while we're sitting here, I guarantee it's the same money.
What's the salary of an NFL referee?
I like 300. That's a good number.
NFL referee, 25,000.
Do 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 do.
Well, it says 25,000.
Do 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 do. This is like Jeopardy.
Let's see. Very. 75,000.
No, come on. He's making 300 grand. All right, we'll check it out. We'll
check
talk
it out.
about it next
I'll
week.
tell you what. I say the NFL referee makes 200,000 more than college, and I say college makes 100,000.
You're dreaming. Guess how much a Southwest pilot makes today?
200.
Flying a Southwest jet.
200.
How about 500?
Okay.
How about 500,000? These are old numbers, Govy. You're dreaming. These guys are making. First of all, how can you keep the game honest, paying a guy 200 grand a year when betting is so prolific?
That's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the
what's
guy's
the
got
number
to
then?
make enough money that he's not looking for a meal.
Right. All of a sudden, you could have literally
And you
500 million on a game.
And you don't think betting is huge or bigger in college ball as in the NFL?
Well, that's why they're finding college players that are on the take.
Right.
It's easier to get to a college player than it is to a referee.
Oh, sure.
I'm telling you, 100,000 for a college
You're
referee.
dreaming. $100,000? There's no way.
All right, so we'll have
We'll check it out.
$20 bet.
If our podcast executive technician over there is listening to the show instead of picking his nose, maybe he could do the research
Right.
and speak to the room.
Okay, he would.
But he's over there picking his nose right now and looking at some porn rather than listening to the show.
Got to get a new guy out there, obviously.
All right, Govy. So we have another week coming up. What's Trump going to do? The market was up 1,000, down 1,000. Interest rates, I don't know. I don't think they're coming down. Everybody says they're coming down in the next meeting. I know Trump is replacing Jerome Powell in May with his own guy, but I don't think you're going to see anything. I mean, the economy's too strong.
Well, you know who's investing in the market right now?
Who?
Omar. Did you know?
That is funny.
Do you know this person from Somalia?
Yeah,
She said
Congressman Omar.
they called her out and said
Congresswoman.
she's a millionaire. And she actually ripped the reporters and said she's not a millionaire. They should do their homework. Well, she didn't know that it was public knowledge, and they did their homework.
Well, they have to fill out a financial form.
She's made $30 million. She said now it was her husband. Do you know they made 3,500% on their money? They were worth nothing. Now $30 million in a year.
Well,
How does she get $30 million?
Yeah, how
in a
does
year?
that happen?
She said her husband now does hedge, and she paid the husband $2 million out of her pocket for.
Where'd she get the $2 million?
It was part of her expense. She raises a lot of money, but it's all Somalia. Could you imagine this socialist is now $30 million?
Well, how's she going to go on her socialist rant that it's exposed that she has $30 million?
Well, it just happened. It just broke 48 hours ago.
So she's done.
It's going to be a little hard for her to complain, now that it's exposed. But it goes to show you, all these politicians, all of them, it's you know what? It should be that they can't invest. You can't be able to make you can't be able to make $30 million in a year and then tell everybody I make $175,000 as my salary. So
even $175,000 plus, they get all the expenses paid. They have drivers.
They get insurance for life.
Yeah, they get they have staff. I mean, it's plus.
Right.
it's
That's when they come to you and they ask you, can you vote for them? They know what they're doing. You get into Congress, it's
Well, you have some of these other guys like Tim Waltz and everything that had no money. Why do they have no money and Omar has $30 million?
because Omar's not a socialist.
Yeah. So what do you think? Is this guy Barack Assami or whoever in New York, is he going to become our next mayor in New York?
100%.
Is that a tragedy?
Well, you want to know why?
That'll be so
it's
fucked.
the perfect
So
storm.
screwed up.
It's the perfect storm for him. I think anybody else would have won if they knew what was going on. But the perfect storm is you got Como, who, by the way, killed a lot of
Yeah,
seniors.
too many hands in the pot.
And by the way, he was the guy that signed in cashless bail. So you can't say, I'm the guy for the police and the crime when you did cashless bail.
But I don't understand this, Govy.
Cashless bail is
Why
death.
isn't a politician allowed to say, you know what? This is what I believed 12 years ago. And in the last 12 years, I've had real life experiences where I've changed my opinion. Why can't they
I haven't heard him say that. I haven't heard Como say, I am going to, if I win, I am going against cashless bail. Say it.
So some of these guys have to do that.
They either have to, if you just stay in and stick to your side, all he is to me is the guy that was cashless bail and he killed these seniors and he lied and he was sexual misconduct.
Right, sexual misconduct.
Then you got
Curtis
Adams.
Leva.
Well, wait, you got Adams, who was indicted basically, who did all his stuff, and he got a pardon from Trump, which is the last thing then you have. And then you got the nice guy, Slewell, that is basically a guardian angel that tries every year, and he's probably not equipped. I would choose him, but one of them, if two of them drop out, they win. So if Slewell will drop out, I like that guy, what's it called? Neil, is it the guy I told you about? It was the congressman from New York. He started the EPA.
Yeah. But
Sheldon, is it?
what's his name? But you
He
know
should
what?
run.
But if I was a resident of New York, I'm a resident of Florida. If I was a resident of New York, being a Jewish person, I would have to vote for Mayor Adams.
Okay, so now
I would rather vote for a crook who I can see his track record of running the city for the last how many years? 4, 6 years. What's a mayor get? 4 years or 6 years? 4 years?
4 years.
Okay, I know what I got in Mayor Adams. I'm okay. Trump's got his back, so now you have the federal government got your back. He's okay on immigration now. He's doing a good job on immigration. He would welcome the troops from Donald Trump to clean up his city. He wouldn't fight it. I would have to take him over Barack Asami or whatever the freaky guy's name is.
that's how I treat it. Just like I did my SAT years ago on multiple choice. I did exactly what you did. So you have multiple choice. You throw out the socialists, you throw out and you got to go with the corrupt guy.
Right.
Because
I'm
he's
okay with the corrupt guy.
Me too. But here's the problem. In order for the corrupt guy to win, Como has to step out of the race.
Well, can't they dig up some dirt on
They don't
him?
have to dig up. It's just money now. There will be money. Someone's going to go up to Como and say, "Do you want to come into the
Right,
Trump?"
he took $5-6 million for his book. He'd
Right.
take another
That means he'll
10
take
million. Yeah.
100%. So now it just comes to Wall Street. Somebody is going to say to Como, Tell me what you want me to write on the check for you to disappear." And by the way, he did his job. If someone told Como, "You can make 10 million, come into this race," he would say, "I'm all in. I'm in." And just put up the face like you're
And
not.
write a book for another 10.
Write a book for another 10. He said, I say Como drops. I think Slewell, he's going to have to eat
Well,
some
it doesn't
prime.
matter for him. He's a Republican. He won't get
But
any
they
votes.
need, but they want that, and that is we go with C. C.
Yeah, A, B, C, D.
No, we go with C, the corrupt guy.
Right.
For my answer, final answer, C.
Well, not only that, we know Mayor Adams, we know how corrupt he is. We know what we have there. We know how he operates. I love his suits. He's a handsome-looking guy. I
Right.
mean, let him with his earring.
Me too.
And
Let him go.
let him go. And, Trump will put the governors on him, make sure he doesn't get too crazy.
Right, and that's it. So that's our answer, C.
All right,
Adams.
we just decided for all the New Yorkers, Hassan Barani, whatever your name is, your history.
Right.
But, it's very telling. You won't have the Speaker of the House or whatever, Hakeem Jeffries doesn't come out and endorse him.
That's unbelievable.
Na-
Either
and
Hochul has
Nancy Pelosi isn't endorsing him.
Or
only
Hochul.
Only Hochul won't only the wackos like what's her name?
AOC.
AOC's endorsing
Right,
him.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie another wacko. Bernie Sanders, a Jewish guy. Well, he's not even Jewish. He disavowed the Jewish faith.
He's as
right?
Jewish as George Soros.
Right. Is that funny? Well, Gabby, a spirit debate. I think that it was a tie.
Well, we're going to see on the referees because you're way
No,
up.
okay.
$500,000 for a referee.
That would be the tiebreaker for $10,000 bet. Who wins today's debate, back and forth? Whoever wins that, I say that a college referee makes within 10% of an NFL referee.
Right.
Whatever the number is, I don't know if it's 200, 300, 500. But the college guy will make 10% less, no more, no less.
Okay.
Is that a bet?
Yeah.
We got it, Gabby. All right, folks. We're a little rusty. We took a week off. We didn't hear from our
My
podcast.
Miami Hurricanes beat Notre Dame.
Oh,
and that's-
Miami Hurricanes,
they look
baby. They're
great.
coming on strong.
But best catch maybe in the last 10 years by pro or college player.
They could have won by more.
They could have.
They could have. But, it's a start. I think everybody's rusty.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Baseball's coming to an end. Next week, Donald Trump. Every day's a nightmare and excitement, whatever you want to call it.
Football starts tomorrow. Go Eagles.
Thursday night game. All right, folks. Have a great week.
See ya.